So have you seen that video? I have sent you a video to see. Have you seen that?
It is partly same.
Okay. So that is laser. So laser means light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Okay. So you know that the laser treatment is done in everywhere. That means in the medical sector for the cancer, the chemo which is given is the laser. Laser light is given, and there's some surgery in which the laser light is used. So what is the principle of laser light operation which I discussed, and for that I will share you a PPT.
Hello, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, madam.
Okay.
Now visible.
Okay. Download টা করে 1 minute. So can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it was invented in 1958 by Charles Towns and Arthur Scholar of Bell Laboratories. Okay. And was based on Einstein's idea of particle wave duality of light more than 30 years original. 30 years earlier. Okay. Originally it was called major. Now it is called laser. That means light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. But before it was called maser. Maser means microwave amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So laser टा कोठी यूज होची ना एटा तुमको मु कहली जे मेडिकल सेक्टर रे इट इज यूज्ड इन मेडिकल सेक्टर फॉर द डिजीज okay to cure the disease in the medical sector laser is used, and second is that your laser printer. So in suppose 10 to 20 years back when you are going for a laser, going for a printer, then what happened? There is a printer that is called dot matrix printer, and to print one page it took around 3 to 4 minutes with more sounds, with undesirable noise. Have you marked that?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
ma'am.
Today
Yes.
also it is used in post office.
Yes. But nowadays the laser printer is there. That means if you give 100 pages of print, it can print within 5 minutes to 6 minutes. And the quality is good and there is no sound at all. Okay. Similarly, in the torch light, there is laser is used, and for the operation of different surgery and different laser light is used. So it is used in everywhere in our life. So what is laser? I have already told you the full form is
Emission light.
written lower
Is not visible.
not visible. That means you have network problem. Is it visible to everyone or not?
Yes, yes. Now it is visible.
Now it is visible, ma'am. Before it went,
It was not visible before. That means you have not
before
seen
it
this.
has gone. Yes, ma'am. Before it has
Okay.
gone.
Okay, now you can see this. I have discussed the two slides. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible.
So what happened?
Madam,
କାହାର ସାଉଣ୍ଡ
madam,
ହଉଛି?
that,
କାହାର ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ହଉଛି ପ୍ଲିଜ ମ୍ୟୁଟ କର କିମ୍ବା ତମମାନେ ଅଲଗା ରୁମ ରେ ଆସ। So କେମିତି ଏଟା ପ୍ରଡକ୍ସନ ହଉଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ coherent beam a device produces a coherent beam of optical radiation. Coherent sources ମାନେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛ? What is coherent beam? Coherent beam
Means ଗୋଟିଏ source ରୁ ଆସୁଥିବ।
huh. That means they have the same phase. Okay, they have the constant phase. Two sources of light is said to be in coherent if they have constant phase difference. Okay, and when the electrons absorb energy, then what will happen? When the electrons absorb energy, তাহলে କଣ ହବ? ଯେତେବେଳେ electron energy absorb କରିବ ସେତେବେଳେ କଣ ହବ? It will go to which state? Excited state, ହଁ ନା ନାଇଁ? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନ୍ ଟା ଏନର୍ଜି ଆବଜର୍ଭ କରିବ ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଏକ୍ସାଇଟେଡ୍ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ କୁ ଯିବ। ବଟ୍ ଏକ୍ସାଇଟେଡ୍ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ରେ କଣ ସେ କେତେ ସମୟ ଯାଏ ରହିବ? In excited state, it will not stay for no longer. So again, it will come to the ground state by emitting the emission of the radiation in form of the energy. So what is the property of laser? The light emitted from a laser is monochromatic. That is, it is of one color wavelength. In contrast, ordinary white light is a combination of many color of light. Okay. So monochromatic means कौन? It has a single wavelength. Okay. तमे जो white light लिखुଛ से कौन? Combination of many colors. Okay. But ଆମେ
Seven
एमिति
colors.
गोटे light ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଏମିତି ଲାଇଟ୍ ନେବା ଯୋଉଟାରେ କି ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ୱେଭଲେନ୍ଥ ଥିବ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ହଉଛି ସୋଡିୟମ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଇଟ୍ ହାଜ୍ ଏ ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ୱେଭଲେନ୍ଥ then lasers emit light that is highly directional that is laser light is emitted as a relatively narrow beam in a specific direction ତମେ ଦେଖିବ ମଝିରେ ମଝିରେ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ପଡେ ଲେଜର ଲାଇଟ୍ ସବୁ ରେଡ୍ କଲର ଜେନେରାଲି ହେଇଥାଏ ତ ରେଡ୍ କଲର କିମ୍ବା ଗ୍ରୀନ୍ କଲର ଯୋଉ ଲେଜର ଲାଇଟ୍ ହେଇଥାଏ ସେଟା ट्रेन में तुम मैंने देखियो ना ट्रेन में जो लाइट यूज करा जाए लोको पायलट यूज करती दैट इज वन टाइप ऑफ लेजर लाइट सेटा कोन हबो बहुत हाईली डायरेक्शन थिबो एंड इट्स रिलेटिवली नैरो बहुत दूर को देखा होथो हैला आउ जेमती तमरो गोटे ऑर्डिनरी लाइट जळिले कोन चारि आड को स्प्रेडेड हेकी पडिबो सेमती नुह एई लेजर लाइट गोटे डायरेक्शन ही पडिबो आ बहुत ही फोकस्ड हेकी पडिबो
मैम ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ଟଏଜ୍ ବି ମିଳୁଥିଲେ।
कौन कहला टॉय
ଟଏଜ୍ ବି ମିଳୁଥିଲେ ଲେଜର ଲାଇଟ୍। ସେଇଟା ବି ରେଡ୍ କଲର୍ ଆସୁଛି ନା ଫ୍ଲୋରୋସେଣ୍ଟ।
ହଁ। The light from a laser is said to be coherent, which means that the wavelength of the laser lights are in phase in space and time. ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଟିକେ ପୂର୍ବରୁ କହୁଥିଲି ଯେ coherent sources ମାନେ କ'ଣ? They have the same phase difference ହେଲା. Ordinary light can be a mixture of many wavelengths. এই তিনটা হচ্ছে properties of the laser. These three properties of the laser light are what can make it more hazardous than ordinary light. Laser light can deposit a lot of energy within a small area. ତମର ଯୋଉ न्यूक्लियर रेडिएशन सब दिया जाउची किबा लेजर ट्रीटमेंट करा होची जो लेजर लाइट टा यूज करा जाउची दैट इज नॉट गुड फॉर योर हेल्थ हैला दैट इज नॉट गुड फॉर योर हेल्थ एंड इट इज हैजर्डस फॉर योर हेल्थ देन मोनोक्रोमेटिसिटी देखा होची एटा
देखिए
सो नियरली मोनोक्रोमेटिक लाइट के हीलियम नियन लेजर को निया जाइची आमर जनरली दी टाइप रो लेजर अछि गोटे होची हीलियम नियन लेजर निया जाय जनरली इट इज मोर प्रिफरेबल दीटा एटम निया जाय गोटे होची हीलियम एटम आ गोटे होची नियन एटम हैला देखो कोहेरेंस एटा होची इनकोहेरेंट लाइट सोर्सेस they are not same phase देखिला ए जो गारा गुडा का पड़ीची सब जो कलर से मानकर ओरिएंटेशन कोन सेम अछि डिफरेंट ओरिएंटेशन अछि अप ऊपर अप ओवरलैप होनी अप ऊपर डाउन ओवरलैप होनी किंतु एरी जो कोहेरेंट लेजर जो लाइट बाहरची सेटा कोन गोटे डायरेक्शनल ले होची और समान भितर कांस्टेंट फेज डिफरेंस रोची देखो जनरल लाइट और लेजर लाइट भितर डिफरेंस कोन तो जनरल ऑर्डिनरी लाइट कोन तमको आइतला मेनी वेवलेंथ that means if we use the white color light then white color light has different wavelengths but laser has single wavelength आउ तमरो इटा होची मल्टी डायरेक्शनल तमरो जदी गोटे तमे घरे गोटे लाइट टे लगौछ से गोटे डायरेक्शन ने लाइट टा आछी ना चारियाडे स्प्रेड करके आछी in your home when you switch on the light it is multi-directional but laser light is unidirectional आउ तमरो general light is not coherent but that means incoherent but your laser light is coherent what are the basic components or basic concept of a laser a laser is based upon the phenomenon of population inversion okay the working principle of laser is population inversion we shall discuss in detail and it acts upon absorption spontaneous emission stimulated emission population inversion there are four important points absorption means what so you see how many energy levels are there in this diagram
two energy
Two,
level.
even it.
two energy level one is E1 and another is E2 okay so some light is incident I have already told that E equal to h nu according to Planck's quantum theory what is h nu E the energy so if the electron which is present in the ground state 1 absorb h nu amount of energy then what will happen ग्राउंड स्टेट रे जो इलेक्ट्रॉन टा अछि से h nu amount of the energy absorb कला तले से कोठी के जीवो
It will move to excite.
Excited state.
excited state एटा कोटा excited state होची 2 हैला that means it is absorption when the electrons absorb energy it goes to the higher energy state बुझी पाले absorption कोन then spontaneous emission spontaneous means कोन कहला तमरा माने गोटे एग्जांपल दोची
Radioactivity.
तमाने सपोज यू आर तमाने समस्ते ओडिया बुझीचो ना कि नॉन ओडिया अछि
Namaste audience.
How many students are there? One is Sibram, then second is Priyadarshini, then
Nivedita madam.
Nibita. How? How କିଏ
ଆଉ ଦୁଇ
ଅଛ?
ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆମର ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ କ୍ଷୀର ଅଛନ୍ତି ମୋବାଇଲ ଚାର୍ଜ ସରିଗଲା।
ଓକେ। ଆଉ ତମମାନେ ସବୁ ଆସିକି ମିଶିକି ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିକାଲ ଦେବାକୁ ଆସିଥିଲ ଆଜି? ଭାଇବା। Okay. So spontaneous means I am giving one example to you. Suppose you are sitting in your drawing room. Okay. Suddenly there was a sound coming outside. You are sitting in your drawing room and suddenly a large sound came from outside. Then what were you are doing? You just stand up from your drawing room and are going to the outside. ବାହା ତମେ ମାନେ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ରୁମ ରେ ବସିଥିବ ବାହାରେ ଗୋଟେ ହଠାତ୍ ବହୁତ ଜୋର ସେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ହେଲା ତମେ କଣ କରୁଛ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଯାଇକି ବାହାରେ ଦେଖୁଛ ନା ନାଇଁ କଣ ଗୋଟେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ହେଲା ବୋଲି ସେଇ ଆକ୍ସନ ଟା କଣ ସ୍ପଣ୍ଟାନିୟସ୍ ଆକ୍ସନ କି ତମର ମନେକର ଅନେଇଛ ହଠାତ୍ ଗୋଟେ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ତମ ଆଖି ଆଗକୁ ମାଡି ଆସୁଛି ତମେ କଣ ତମେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ହଠାତ୍ ଆଖିଟା ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦଉଛ ନାଇଁ ବନ୍ଦ କରି ଦଉଛ that is spontaneous. Okay, that is at your own without the force of any other, that is called spontaneous ହେଲା ତ ଏଇଠି କଣ ହଉଛି spontaneous emission ମାନେ କଣ ହବ ଯେତେବେଳେ absorption କରିକି କଣ ହେଲା when electrons absorb energy it is in the higher energy state or in the excited state, but I have already told you that in the excited states the electrons are no longer present stable, so they will again come to the ground state. So how they will come to the ground state? When the electrons, how the electrons come from the excited state to the ground state?
When energy loss.
If they emit energy, okay, they emit energy at their own without the effect of others, that is called spontaneous emission. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ?
ହାଇ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ସ୍ପଣ୍ଟାନିୟସ୍
Listening.
Spontaneous means ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ଯୋଉଟା ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦେଲି ନା ତମ ମାନଙ୍କର ବସିଛ ତମ ଆଖି ଆଗକୁ ହଠାତ୍ ଗୋଟେ ପୋକଟେ ମାଡି ଆସିଲା ତମେ କଣ ଆଖିଟାକୁ ହଠାତ୍ ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦଉଛ ନା ନାଇଁ ତମକୁ କିଏ କହୁଛି କି ଆଖି ବନ୍ଦ କର ବୋଲି ତମର ସେଟା ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ବନ୍ଦ କରୁଛ that is spontaneous. ତ ଯେମିତି ତମର ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନ୍ସ ଗୁଡାକ ଯାଇକି ତମର ହାୟର ଏନର୍ଜି ଷ୍ଟେଟ ରେ ରହିଲା ତ ହାୟର ଏନର୍ଜି ଷ୍ଟେଟ ରେ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନ ଗୁଡା ଷ୍ଟେବଲ କି ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କାଲି କହିଥିଲି everybody in the universe always tries to remain in the equilibrium position. The reason is that the equilibrium position is the minimum energy position. ପୃଥିବୀର ଯେକୌଣସି ଜିନିଷ ସବୁ ମିନିମମ୍ ଏନର୍ଜି ଷ୍ଟେଟରେ ରହିବାକୁ ଚାହାନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦଉଛି ତମମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଝଗଡା କରୁଛ କି ରାଗି ଯାଉଛ ସେତେବେଳେ ତମର ଏନର୍ଜିଟା ଅଧିକ ରହୁଛି ନା କମି ଯାଉଛି ଅଧିକ ରହୁଛି ସେଥିଲାଗି ଝଗଡା କରୁଛ ପାଟିତୁଣ୍ଡ କରୁଛ ସେମିତି କଣ ରାଗିକି କେତେ ସମୟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ରହିପାରୁଛ ରାଗିଲେ ତମକୁ ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି କି ଭଲ ଲାଗୁନି ଘଣ୍ଟେ 2 ଘଣ୍ଟା ପରେ ତମେ ପୁଣି କଣ ତମର ନର୍ମାଲ ଷ୍ଟେଟ କିମ୍ବା ଇକ୍ଲିବ୍ରିୟମ ଷ୍ଟେଟକୁ ଆସିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛ କାହିଁକି ନା ତମକୁ ଶାନ୍ତି ରହିଲେ ତମର ଏନର୍ଜି ମିନିମମ୍ ରହିବ ଆଉ ତମେ ଇକ୍ଲିବ୍ରିୟମ ଷ୍ଟେଟରେ ରହିବ ହେଲା ସେଥିଲାଗି କୁହାଯାଏ ଯେ ଲୋଏଷ୍ଟ ଏନର୍ଜି ଷ୍ଟେଟ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ଆଜ ଦ ଇକ୍ଲିବ୍ରିୟମ ଷ୍ଟେଟ ତ ଯୋଉ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନ ଗୁଡାକ ରାଗିକି କିମ୍ବା ମାନେ ଆବଜର୍ଭ କରିକି ଏନର୍ଜି ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଲେଭେଲକୁ ପଳେଇଲା ସେ କଣ ରହିପାରିବ କି ସେଠି ତ ଏନର୍ଜି ଅଧିକ ହେଇଛି ନା ସେ ରହିପାରିବନି ସେ କଣ ଚାହିଁବ ମୁଁ କେମିତି ଏନର୍ଜି ଏମିଟ୍ କରିଦେଇକି ପୁଣି ଆଉଥରେ ମୋର ନିଜ ଜାଗାକୁ ପଳେଇ ଆସିବି ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯୋଉ ଖେଳିଛ ରାମଦୋଳି ଖେଳିଛ
Yes, ma'am.
ଯୋଉ ସର୍କଲ ହେଇଥାଏ
Married.
ଯୋଉ ସେ ଯୋଉ ସର୍କଲ ସର୍କଲ ହେଇଥାଏ ତମକୁ ତଳେ ରହିଲେ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ନା ପୁରା ଟପ ରେ ଯାଇକି ରହିଲେ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ
Sorry.
ନା କାହାକୁ ଟପ ରେ ରହିଲେ ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି ସେ ଦେଖି ପାରୁଥିବ ଚାରିଆଡେ ବୋଲି କହିକି ତମକୁ ତଳେ ରହିଲେ
ତାପରେ
ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ସେଇ ଟାଇପ ର
କିଛି ସମୟ ପାଇଁ ଭଲ।
ଓ ତାହେଲେ ହଉ ତମେ କିଛି ସମୟ ପାଇଁ ଭଲ ବଢିଆ କଥାଟେ କହିଲ ସେମିତି ଯୋଉ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନ ଗୁଡାକ ଏନର୍ଜି ଟା ଆବଜର୍ଭ କରିଦେଇକି ଉପରକୁ ପଳେଇଲା ତାକୁ ଉପରେ କିଛି ସମୟ ପାଇଁ ଭଲ ଲାଗିବ ତାପରେ ସେ କଣ କରିବ ପୁଣି ଚାହିଁବ ଯେ ମୁଁ ତଳକୁ ଆସିବି ସେତେବେଳେ ତଳକୁ ଆସିବ ସେ ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ଏନର୍ଜି ଏମିଟ୍ କରିଦେଇକି ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ସ୍ପଣ୍ଟାନିୟସ୍ ତାକୁ କେହି ବି କହିବେନି ଯେ ତୁ ଏନର୍ଜି ଏମିଟ୍ କରିଦେ ସେ ନିଜେ ହିଁ ନିଜେ ଲସ୍ କରିଦେଇକି ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ସ୍ପଣ୍ଟାନିୟସ୍ ଏମିଶନ बुझिला शिवव्रत?
Yes, ma'am.
शिवराम मैम।
हाँ शिवराम, ओके से एका कथा शिव तो अच्छी देन स्टिमुलेटेड एमिशन। स्टिमुलेटेड एमिशन कौन? स्टिमुल मानकर तुमको घरे बसीच मुझे गोटे एग्जांपल दूसरी तुमको जल्दी जड़े कह गलु पानी ग्लास टे आनीदेबू है मानकर बापा कहे जा पा तुम मानकर बापा कहे जा पा ग्लास टे आनीदेबू तो तुमको कितु जावाक इच्छा हो न तो सेठू माँ कौन कहे ते बापा कहले पानी ग्लास टे आने तू आनीपारुन तो तुमको किए स्टिमुलेट कला जा नहीं कि आसबू बोली किए कहला माँ कहले ना नहीं तमने गोटे एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर तुमको कहला कि जिनसा करबा पे
बाह्य उद्दीपना देते
हाँ सेमती स्टिमुलेटेड माने बाहर माने पळैले तो इलेक्ट्रॉन टा पळै गला 1 और 2 को जाइछि रे ताको बाहर कुआ जीव जे एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस ट्रिगर्ड और एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस गिवन so that it can again come to the ground state. That is called stimulated emission. एनर्जी अब्जर्व करिवो ऊपर को पळैबो सेटा गोटे किंतु एमिशन टा दीटा रहला गोटे होची स्पॉन्टेनियस और गोटे होची स्टिमुलेटेड यदि निजे निजे एमिट करके आसिला सेटा होची स्पॉन्टेनियस यदि बाहर गोटे फोर्स ट्रिगर करला एमिट करिवा पई देन इट इज स्टिमुलेटेड बुझिला
मैम को केस रे स्टिमुलेटेड हेबो मैम
दैट डिपेंड्स यदि मानकर एनर्जी टा अधिक हो जाइथिबो तो सेई केस रे से एनर्जी रिलीज कर देकी पळे आसीबो ग्राउंड स्टेट को जनरली तमर स्पॉन्टेनियस एमिशन हुए इन जनरल स्पॉन्टेनियस एमिशन हुए यदि मानकर से हायर एनर्जी स्टेट रे अधिक समय धरि के रहिला देन स्टिमुलेटेड एमिशन हो What is the properties of the stimulated emissions? The stimulated emissions has three properties. One is that they are in phase with the incident photon. Then they are the same wavelength and they travel in the same direction. Then population inversion. Diagram में देखो देखो स्पॉन्टेनियस एमिशन डायग्राम मु देखिए देछि तापर बुझेबे फास्ट देखिला E1 टा गला E2 को ऑब्जर्वेशन एटा देखा पर जाउ सेकंड होची कोन स्पॉन्टेनियस एमिशन माने निजे निजे एमिट कर देला जो रेड कलर लाइट रो एरो मार्क ता तळो को आछि निजे एमिट कला आ h nu अमाउंट ऑफ द एनर्जी छाडिला थर्ड केस टा कोन स्टिमुलेटेड एमिशन देखो बाहर गोटे एनर्जी अप्लाई हैला देखि पारुछ बाहर गोटे एनर्जी अप्लाई हैला h nu जहा फल रे कि से E2 रो E1 आसिला तो केतरा फोटोन बाहरिबो गोटे बाहर जोटा ट्रिगर हेतिला सेही फोटोन टा बाहरिला आ जो E2 रो E1 आसिला सते कि से एनर्जी लॉस करिवो सते कि दीटा बाहर हैला it is based upon the principle of population inversion. Population inversion माने कोन इटी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को कुआ जाईची population हैला इटी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मान को कुआ जाईची population त माने तमे जनरली कोन भाबुछ माने ग्राउंड स्टेट रे अधिक इलेक्ट्रॉन रहबा कथा ग्राउंड स्टेट रे अधिक इलेक्ट्रॉन रहबा कथा ना एक्साइटेड स्टेट रे अधिक इलेक्ट्रॉन रहबा कथा
ग्राउंड स्टेट
बट एठी कोन होची एक्साइटेड स्टेट रे अधिक इलेक्ट्रॉन होची तो इन्वर्सन माने कोन कहला जस्ट अपोजिट और नॉट
यस मैम ओके
जेहेतु ग्राउंड स्टेट टू एक्साइटेड स्टेट रे अधिक इलेक्ट्रॉन होची सेटा को सेथला ही कहा जाउची पॉपुलेशन इन्वर्सन हियर द पॉपुलेशन मींस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बुझिला
यस मैम क्लियर
देखो it is written a state in which a substance has been energized or excited to specific energy levels more atoms are in higher excited state than in the ground state and this is called as the population inversion and it is done by the process of pumping है ना then pumping. ଏତେ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ଏଟା ଟୁ ଲେବଲ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ର डायग्राम ଟା ବୁଝିଲ why it is called two level system କି କହି ପାରିବ ऑलरेडी ମୁଁ କହିଛି ତମକୁ why is it called two level system केतरा एनर्जी लेवल अछि एठी
दुईटा अछि E1 E2
that's why it is called two level system okay then Boltzmann equation see n1 n1 is the number of electrons of energy n2 is the number of electrons in the energy E2 so population inverse means n2 is greater than n1 that means the number of electrons in the excited state is greater than the number of electrons in the ground state और गुडा किसी दरकार नहीं सेटा ही तमरो पॉपुलेशन इन्वर्सन टा दरकार आ आइंस्टाइन कोएफिशिएंट रो डेरिवेशन टा तो मानको मु पठेबी मैथमेटिक्स टा तुमको मु गोटे वीडियो देखियो देइथिले सेटा देखिछो
कम देखिदेव
मैम मु देखि
of laser have you seen that
मैम आ थरे लिंक टा पठा देबे कि
हम लिंक टा पठौछि सेटा देखि दियो आ सहित कोरिलेट हेके समस्त देखो हम पठौछि ओपन होछि वीडियो टा देखिलो the video is opening
मैम ओपन होची
okay you watch that video this is 7 minutes video I think
नो बड़ा बेटे
Yes, it's a 24 minutes video. You just watch for 5 to 10 minutes and if you have any doubt then you will ask. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello, Priyadarshini.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I shared the screen, but now I came to know that I was disconnected. For how many times I was disconnected?
I think 15 minutes. 15.
Okay, I
15
was
to
sharing
20.
the screen. Okay, have you seen that video?
Ah, yes, ma'am. We have seen.
Okay, so now we will read the nuclear spectroscopy. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Screen is visible.
Okay. So what is the full form of NMR? Nuclear magnetic resonance. Nuclear magnetic resonance. So why it is important? It is more powerful for organic structure. मते सुनी पारछ ना नहीं?
Ma'am, voice is not audible. Now it is audible.
The different kinds of the direction of the signal so how simulate a
Ma'am, voice
हाँ
break होती.
तमो प्रोब्लेम अछि अने
Okay, ma'am.
भी the location of the signal how shielded or deshielded the proton is and the intensity of the signal shows the number of protons of that type and signal splitting shows the number of protons on adjacent atoms. देखो nucleus spin कौन? A nucleus with an odd atomic number or an odd mass number has a nuclear spin. कहाँ spin होइबो? Odd atomic number or odd mass number है ना? कहलो atomic number माने हाइड्रोजन atomic number केते?
1.
Mass number
Hmm.
केते? 1. lithium रे कहलो atomic number केते?
2. 2 atomic number, 4 is the mass number.
सेटा होची helium रो मु पचारुची lithium रो
Atomic number 3, ma'am.
atomic number 3 mass number is 7 तो
7.
जो मानकर odd atomic number थिबो आ odd mass number okay the nucleus with odd atomic number or an odd mass number has a nuclear spin and the spinning charge nucleus generate a magnetic field okay The concept is that the nucleus having odd atomic number and odd mass number has a nucleus spin, and this spinning of the nucleus generates a magnetic field. The nucleus of hydrogen atom behaves as a tiny spinning bar magnet, and it does so because it possesses both electric charge and mechanical spin. Any spinning charge body will generate a magnetic field, and the nucleus of hydrogen is no exception. ହେଲା देख ये एनएमआर स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी तुम हाइड्रोजेन कौन जेहेतु गोटे प्रोटोन अच्छे गोटे ही तार मास नंबर सी कौन बिहेव करे गोटे बार मैग्नेट टाइप रो बिहेव करे कहीं तार स्पिनिंग हुए और स्पिनिंग हेबा द्वारा तार मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जनरेट करे न्यूक्लियर स्पिन ए स्पिनिंग चार्ज सच एज न्यूक्लियस ऑफ hydrogen or carbon generates a magnetic field. The magnetic field generated by a nucleus of spin half is opposite in direction from the generated by a nuclear of spin minus half. Spin half means what? It is upward or downward? तमर सब स्पिन करती ना इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पिन करे निज एक्सिस चारिपटे बुलिया को स्पिनिंग कहा जाए तो तमर इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पिन करे प्रोटॉन स्पिन करे तो जदि बनेकर कौन सर यदि स्पिन अपवर्ड होउथबो ताले तार एंटीपार्टिकुलर स्पिन कौन होउथबो डाउनवर्ड होउथबो प्लस हाफ माइनस हाफ कार्बन तमरो एटॉमिक नंबर केते
6
और मास नंबर 13 आइसोटोप रो Under the influence of an external magnetic field, a magnetic nucleus can take up different orientation equal to 2l plus 1, 2I plus 1. For I equal to half, only two orientations are allowed. Deuterium and nitrogen have I equal to 1, so they have three orientations. Okay, so 2I plus 1. If I equal to half, then what is the value? The number of orientations is given at 2I plus 1.
3 half.
No, see, if I equal to half, then what is the value of 2I plus 1? 2? हाँ आउ जदि बनेकर I equal to 1 है ताले केतरा ओरिएंटेशन दबो 3 The distribution of nuclear spins is random in the absence of an external magnetic field. If there is no magnetic field, then is there any particular shape or alignment? They are arranged or they are distributed randomly. See, what is the difference between this diagram and this diagram? Who can tell me? What is the difference between these two diagrams, this and this? Left
side it is 2 positive.
See, here the external magnetic field is applied. As a result, there is a what alignment in the particular direction. एगुड़ा सब कौन alignment ताकर कौन होइछि गोटे पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन अलाइनमेंट हेछि ना नै एठी देखो किछि तमरो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड अप्लाई हेनि तले रैंडमली से माने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हे जंते बुझियला जाई परते ना नै तबरे there is a slight excess of nuclear magnetic moments aligned parallel to the applied field. See, since the external magnetic field is applied, they are aligned in a particular direction, but here there is no magnetic field is applied, so they are distributed randomly. And energy difference between two nuclear spin states is proportional to strength of external magnetic field. Energy difference between nuclear spin states is proportional to strength of external magnetic field. Okay, see, Mm. What is the difference in energy? You tell me. There are two. One is d, another is d prime. Okay. So what is the difference in energy between them?
D prime minus D.
Yes. d prime minus de. And if there is no magnetic field, then there is no change in the, there is no difference in the energy. तमर जदि मैग्नेटिक फील्ड रहिबो ताहले तमर डिफरेंस आसीबो एनर्जी रे. जदि तमर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड न रहिबो ताहले तमर डिफरेंस कोन हबो? जीरो हबो. The frequency of observed electromagnetic radiation for a particular nucleus, the frequency of observed electromagnetic radiation for a particular nucleus depends on the molecular environment of the nucleus. That means the electronic movement. This is why NMR is such a useful tool for structure determination. That means generally the NMR is used for determination of the structure, organic structure of the molecules. So there are two types of relaxation process. Another one is the spin lattice relaxation and second one is the spin relaxation. So in spin lattice relaxation, high energy nucleus transfer energy to electromagnetic vector in the surrounding, and in case of the spin relaxation, transfer energy to nearby nuclei having the same delta E. That means there is no net change. See Boltzmann distribution. This is N initial and the upper state is Nu, and the change in energy is delta epsilon, and it is given by Nu equal to Ni exponential minus del epsilon by Kt. There are different types of NMR. One is the magnetic field kept fixed, and second one is the frequency kept fixed, and the third is that all the nuclei are irradiated at a fixed field with a strong pulse. Then magnetic shielding. If all protons absorb the same amount of energy in a given magnetic field, then we cannot get such type all the informations, but circulating electrons create an induced magnetic field that opposes the external magnetic field. See, there is a proton and these are the circulating electron density in both the sides, and the external magnetic field V is applied. And the structure of the protons in a molecule is given by the NMR spectroscopy. Depending on their chemical environment, protons in a molecule are shielded by different amounts. These are the different structures is given, but you have to remember the first slides which I have given, that what is NMR spectroscopy and types of NMR spectroscopy and how it is used.
प्रोग्राम क्लास सरीगला कि मैम पढ़ेइले ना केते हेलो मैम मैम पढ़ेइले
मैम
मैम कटिगले कि
Okay, so today we discuss the nuclear spectroscopy and the laser. Any doubt?
मैम
କିଛି ଶୁଭା ଯାଉନି, ତମେ ସବୁ ଟାଇପ କର, କିଛି ଶୁଭା ଯାଉନି।
मैम एनएमआर ର यूज ଟା कौन
ତମର ସବୁ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ମଲିକ୍ୟୁଲର ଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟର ମ୍ୟାଗ୍ନେଟିକ ରେଜୋନାନ୍ସ।
फॉर एग्जांपल मैम ह्यूमन
एनी टाइप ऑफ मानेकर तमे प्रोटॉन कार्बन ने प्रोटॉन स्ट्रक्चर केमती ऑर्गेनिक डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिक मटेरियल ऑर्गेनिक एलिमेंट्स उडा करे डिफरेंट हाइड्रोजन कार्बन एमानकर स्ट्रक्चर केमती सेटा जानिया ପାଇଁ बोले तमरा एनएमआर यूज करा छै।
ता ऊपर वीडियो छाड़ दियो।
वीडियो अच्छी देखिबो।
यस मैम लिंक दे दें
ओके दोच दीटा मो वीडियो कलेक्ट करथिले दीटा को दोचे तुम देखो। देखलो दीटा को ओपन होचे। ओपन होनी ओपन होची ना नहीं
मैम ओपन होची दीटा देखो ओपन होची
दीटा ओपन होची सब केते 7 मिनिट ना 10 मिनिट रो वीडियो थिबो तम माने क्लास सरला परे टाइम पाइले टिके देखि दबो हैला।
ओके
तापरे हमरा नेक्स्ट क्लास काली नाही बोधे
ना मंडे अछि
ना मंडे नहीं संडे अछि।
अच्छा हाँ रीशेड्यूल हो जाएगी संडे 26
तम मानको सब मेल रे दिया होची ना जहाँ रीशेड्यूल होची
यस मैम रीशेड्यूल ଟା ଆସିଥିଲା କି ଆଜିର ଯୋଉ ସଣ୍ଡେ ର ସେଟା ମେଲ ରେ ଅଛି ନା ମେଲ ରେ ଅଛି ଏବେ ଇଭିନିଂ ରେ
ने
ଅଛି
मो
ନା
पाखु अछि एक्चुअली संडे प्रैक्टिकल अछि ना सॉरी मंडे प्रैक्टिकल अछि सेटलगी सेटा को रीशेड्यूल करेथिले तो तमरा
ओके
प्रियदर्शनी
नो
कोन
प्रॉब्लम
कहउतलो डाउट थिला बोली पछारिबो
नो मैम ये एनएमआर ଟା ଏବେ ହିଁ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିଲା ଆଉ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସଣ୍ଡେ ରେ ହିଁ ପଚାରିବି
ତାହେଲେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସ୍କିପ୍ କରିବା?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is 8:20. हाँ लीव करिए ଆଉ 5 मिनिट ଅଛି ଶିବରାମର କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ନା ସେ ପଳେଇଲେ? Yes, ma'am. लीव करिए ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିକାଲ ଉପରେ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିଲା। hello ma'am.